Missing Still continues tonight. We revisit the mystery of two Welch, Oklahoma girls and take a closer look at some of the suspects in the case that didn't make it to court. KOIM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, seniors in Jasper County might have a new way to save money thanks to a tax program. Plus, visitors to the senior center in Miami can expect a few upgrades to the facility. And a 25-year-old cold case sparks renewed interest in the victims and the suspects.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Jasper County senior citizens have a new way to save money on their property taxes. This is KOIM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The application for a senior tax freeze is now open and available through the county collector's office. KOIM Samantha Walker has more on what seniors need to know.
There are few things more certain in life than taxes. And for those on a budget, rising property taxes can be stressful, especially for seniors.
Taxes go up, the cost of goods goes up, Social Security income, not so much. And we want seniors to remain in their homes. We want them to be able to afford to live comfortably.
The Area Agency on Aging hopes Jasper County's new senior property tax freeze will help them do just that. It's a state program lawmakers passed in 2023 and amended in August. Jasper County commissioners voted to implement the program in October. It will freeze qualified seniors' property taxes at their 2024 rate, meaning they won't increase in future years.
That's significant considering 2025 is a reassessment year. So your values should go up under reassessment, but you're going to be paying based upon the 2024 tax amount.
Anyone who is 62 or older and who owns their home can apply. You can find the application for the program online, but it must be submitted in person at the courthouse in Carthage. Those applying need to bring proof of age, residency, ownership, like a recorded deed, and their tax receipt for 2024. The office says it's helpful if you bring copies they'll be able to keep, but they are happy to make copies when there.
It's very cumbersome. And it's cumbersome for us, cumbersome for the taxpayer, and I get that. Next year, on a renewal, it'll be much, much easier because we'll have the files built already with that documentation in it.
Shotwell says she's grateful to Jasper County officials for putting in the hard work to get the program started.
Makes people believe in government again after years of uncertainty as far as what is tomorrow going to bring. The county coming and saying, we've got you, is really a good thing.
Reporting in Jasper County, Samantha Walker, KOIM News.
The application window closes May 31st. If approved, you'll receive a letter from the county. You can learn more about how to apply for the property tax freeze on our website, KOIMnewsnow.com. Some experts in Joplin are offering free income tax preparation for individuals and families making $67,000 per year or less. They're part of the federal program called VITA, or Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, and it's run by qualified volunteers with expertise in tax services. For local volunteers, it's more than just filing taxes. It's a chance to give back to the community. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, much cooler for us today. Temperatures really struggled to warm up after record highs yesterday, 42 today. 38 was our low, so we really kind of stayed upper 30s to lower 40s. Below our average high of 47. Really, we're going to see up and down temperatures over the next few days. All right, so mid to upper 30s to near 40. We have the drizzle outside, some fog, so be careful. The roads are going to be wet. But if you do live Iola to Yates Center, you're flirting with that freezing mark, so you may get a very little light glaze of icing. Everybody else is going to be liquid. Through the overnight, we kind of hang out near 40 degrees. We're going to have light showers and drizzle across the region. We are socked in with the clouds. We have the drizzle, very hard to see on the radar because the rain droplets are so small. And this is going to be sticking around. We're going to be talking about that here in just a bit.
See you soon. The Miami Senior Center is undergoing some big upgrades. The center's original board was dissolved, and it's now under the ownership of the city of Miami. They plan to add some new services, equipment, and programs. A brand new kitchen space is currently in the works, along with repainting some of the facility. The center has expanded its programs and added activities. They even have their very first Valentine's Day celebration coming up. The center offers a library, gym, and a pool room for members.
Now it's a city facility, we want to keep it growing, we want to keep it fresh, and we want it to continue to be a place our seniors want to come. So there'll be lots of projects coming.
Center's open every weekday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Membership costs $25 per year. The Freeman Business Center in Joplin held a Healthy Habits event this evening. Dr. Rob McNabb, a practicing internist, hosted the event. He covered healthy habit topics such as eating well, staying active, managing stress, getting enough sleep. He also talked about staying away from certain foods.
Just avoiding ultra-processed foods would probably be a tremendous benefit for almost all of us. The average American eats about 70% of their calories as an ultra-processed calorie. The average adult eats about 800 pounds of food per year. And so that's a lot of ultra-processed foods.
Wow, McNabb's a longtime advocate for patient empowerment through education. The missing Welch girls cold case has captivated 4-staters for 25 years. Tanya Bach brings us part 2 of her special report, Missing Still, with a look at other suspects in the case that didn't make it to court. That's coming up.
And only at High Winds.
The missing Welch girls cold case has captivated 4-staters for 25 years. While the courts have decided who is responsible for the deaths of the Freeman family and Laura Bible, investigators and Laura's mother still hold out hope the bodies of both Laura and Ashley will surface someday. Welch, Pennington, and Busick weren't the first suspects in the case. Tonight, KOAM's Tanya Bach investigates a few of the other suspects who didn't make it to the courtroom in her special report, Missing Still.
December 30th, 1999, Laura Bible remembers the day like it was yesterday, watching investigators sift through the rubble of her daughter's best friend's family home.
All the floors and everything fell to the ground because it was up about this high, so everything was on the ground except where the waterbed was on Danny and Kathy's bedroom.
That's where investigators found the body of the mother, Kathy Freeman, and then the next day she and her husband discovered the father, Danny. Both murdered, killed from a gunshot to the head. But Lorraine's daughter, Laura, and Ashley Freeman are missing still to this day. After little more than a decade, DA investigator Gary Stansell and OSBI agent Tammy Ferrari joined Lorraine's search for the girls and their killers.
So many people that were in the file that you couldn't really eliminate any of them. Oh, it's been well documented. Jeremy Jones was one that confessed to it.
Did you talk at all about Ashley Freeman and Laura Bible?
Yeah, they asked me questions about it.
Former Northeast Oklahoma and Southeast Kansas resident Jeremy Jones was already on death row for a murder in Alabama when in 2005 he confessed to killing the Freemans over a drug debt. Ottawa County, Oklahoma jail records show Jones was arrested for public drunkenness and possession of drug paraphernalia at 4 a.m. the night of the fire. Jones told authorities he shot the Freeman couple and set their house on fire earlier that morning.
You told me that you can't lie to me when you look me in the eye. Look me in the eyes and tell me if you're responsible for their death.
I'm responsible for their death.
Jones told investigators he took the girls and threw them into an abandoned mine shaft near Galena, Kansas. Their bodies were never found, and Jones later denied confessing to anything related to the case. In 2016, Lorraine created a Facebook page dedicated to finding the girls. Shortly after, a tip led Lorraine and investigators to Chautauqua, Kansas, where Danny Freeman worked with Charles Kreider, a man who a few years later strangled a woman and dumped her body in a creek.
There were a lot of people in Chautauqua that looked at this friend of Danny Freeman's because he was convicted of murder.
But a search at Kreider's home also turned up empty. However, by that time, Lorraine's Facebook page was gaining traction with 3 more suspects to focus on: Phil Welch, David Pennington, and Ronnie Busick.
We had their names originally in the files way back. It was, along with hundreds of other names. It never came to the surface until around 2017.
The kids of the people in Chautauqua were the ones contacting us.
We spent so much time in Chautauqua knocking on doors, having to track these people down and say, hey, do you know something? Yeah, I do. Like, why have you guys never came forward?
So a lot of these people had information and knew that they were involved, but they didn't want to die.
Conversations surfaced detailing that December night in 1999 when Welch and Pennington had intentions of retrieving a drug debt from Danny Freeman, and Ronnie Busick was along for the ride. Several of the witnesses also matched accounts of seeing Polaroids of the girls bound.
That they were able to see things in the photographs that with certainty identified it as being Phil Welch's house.
Everybody knew then that Philip Welch and David Pennington was dead. So they felt like they could talk a little more, but they still didn't want people to know who they were.
People just said there was just this look about him, just that people were afraid of him.
Phil Welch died in 2007. 1 week later, lightning struck his house out here in rural Cherokee, Kansas, and burned it to the ground.
7 years, 7 months, and 7 days after the murders, he died.
And he had his day of reckoning with the good Lord when he got there too. Now you're going to go straight to hell and you're not going to collect nothing.
The kids told the investigators they lived in fear not only for their lives, but for their mothers who dated Welch and Pennington.
One of them said, if you tell anybody, we'll kill you.
The witness accounts led to multiple dig sites in Pitcher, Oklahoma, and the eventual arrest of Ronnie Busick, who later pled guilty to accessory to murder. But no real closure for Lorene Bible.
I just want to know where my child is.
Who believes there are still answers out there. Tanya Bach, KOAM News.
Ronnie Busick was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but because of good behavior and time credited while in county jail, he was released after just 3 years in prison, back into the area where he committed his crimes and where family members of the victims still live. This week, for a second time, Representative Steve Bayshore is attempting to pass Laura and Ashley's Law, a bill designed to keep that pain from happening to other victims' families. Join us Thursday night for part 3 of Tanya's special report, Missing Still. A little bit later, visitors to Hatcher's Coffee House in Carthage got crafty with some Valentine's Day ideas for their kiddo.
And it looks like the gloomy weather is going to be sticking around. We're going to look at that coming up.
Head to the App Store and start playing on Underdog now.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a gloomy day for us today. We had record highs, mid-70s yesterday. Not today. Most of the day we sat 38 to 40 degrees. So at one time, we had a difference of 35 to 40 degrees in a temperature switch compared to what we saw yesterday. All right, great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, you can see kind of foggy, drizzly out there, and that's what we're going to have throughout the overnight hours. Still, it's about 10 degrees cooler right now than what we had this time last night. Of course, we were cooling down during the evening hours. 37 in Stockton, 42 in Anderson, 39 Miami, 36 in Pitt. We do have Iola and Yates Center at right around the freezing mark, and we have some light drizzle. So a little bit of light freezing drizzle in our far northwestern counties we can't rule out. All right, the winds are going to be all over the place. We have a front that's going to be playing kind of havoc with us. Lifts to the north tomorrow, so a hair warmer than what we saw today. In fact, our temperatures rise tomorrow night. Front slides back south on Thursday, so we start mild and we end up cold, and it really stays kind of breezy as we go through the next few days. Lots of clouds out there, so we are socked in with the clouds. We do have the drizzle. Really doesn't pick up on the radar. The droplets are so small, but it is out there. So we have some light drizzle, we have some light fog, storm systems, very weak ones, just kind of rotating across the country right into the central parts of the plains. All right, what's going to happen from here on out? Drizzle sticks around tonight, fog, patchy fog across the region. Again, maybe a little bit of freezing drizzle if you live over from Yates Center, Fredonia, over toward Eureka. You guys could get a little bit of a light glaze of ice on the roadways. Everybody else stays liquid. Light showers, drizzle, stick around through the morning hours. You can see a little bit of pink trying to pop up there, up toward I-35. Temperatures mid-40s, a little bit better. I think most of us around the metro 48-ish for a high tomorrow. Light showers, light drizzle, sticking around as we go through tomorrow evening. Then we get a little bit of a break. But as our cold front slides back in Thursday morning, light showers and drizzle once again for the first half of Thursday, and then Thursday afternoon looks okay. Temps sitting into the mid-50s. Brief break, and then clouds roll right back in Friday morning, giving us more pockets of drizzle. Now, drizzle's super light. Even if we get some light showers, we're not going to get much rain. Maybe a tenth, maybe 2/10 of an inch at max. 41 to start, 45 by noon, high temp 48 degrees. Let's go into the weekend. So we know a few showers on Friday, lasting into Saturday morning. We actually climb into the 60s Saturday. Another front shoves through. So for Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to have rain just to our south. But for us, it looks like we're going to stay dry, but it's going to be chilly into the mid-30s. And then we'll start to watch a storm system that could give us a little wintry weather by early next week. All right, 48 tomorrow, 60 Thursday morning, but near 50 during the afternoon. 48 Friday, back to 64 in the morning on Saturday, and then Super Bowl Sunday, 43. So, I mean, 10 to 15 degree temperature swings each day.
Yeah, it looks like Halloween weather to me.
Kind of does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But you know what? It's all right. It's February. We'll take it. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, several of our local basketball teams participate in the 42nd annual Mercy Warrior Classic. And McDonald County hosts a wrestling duel against Carl Junction. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Sporting events of any kind, much more exciting with a big crowd. That's exactly what we've got this afternoon at McDonald County High School as the Mustangs host Carl Junction in a wrestling duel in front of the entire McDonald County student body. McDonald County hosts an assembly duel against Carl Junction. We get started on the girls' side at 125 pounds. McDonald County's Angelica Alarcon gets the takedown of Jasmine Blaney, and she goes on to win by fall. We go ahead, wrestling at 135 pounds. Carl Junction's Bella Montez with a takedown. Then she wins by fall after just 24 seconds, and that gives some momentum to the Lady Bulldogs as we move ahead to 140. McDonald County's Macy Smith with the takedown. Russell Rahabson with the reversal. This match goes the full 6 minutes, and Rahabson wins by decision. Now, 145 pounds. Another great battle here between Brooke Obed and Kylie Spencer. Obed wins by fall after 5 minutes. Lady Mustangs win big in front of their classmates. They beat Carl Junction 54-15. Now to the boys. McDonald County High School Wrestling in its home gym, taking on Carl Junction at 132 pounds. Robinson Yoshino with the reversal against Jackson Yeppel. He wins by technical fall for the Mustangs. After that, CJ, though, would catch fire. 144 pounds. Nick Folk wins by fall over Roland Wardlaw. That's just before the 3-minute mark. Then, a little bit later, 165 pounds. Patrick Luzak gets the win by fall. And the Bulldogs, at this point, they've won 5 matches in a row. Now, 175 pounds, Carl Junction's Tony Stewart with the takedown, and after just about 4 minutes, he gets the win by technical fall. Great afternoon for Carl Junction boys wrestling. Bulldogs take care of McDonald County 51-23. We've got some high school basketball in our area tonight as well. We'll start in Kansas in the CNC. 6th-ranked Girard girls basketball cruises to a 59-26 victory over Galena at home. Meanwhile, Galena boys basketball remains undefeated. Bulldogs beat Girard 59-45. They improved their record to 12-0 on the season. They'll face Northeast Arma on Thursday. In Missouri, today's the quarterfinal round for the boys at the 42nd annual Mercy Warrior Classic. New Heights Christian Academy takes care of Thomas Jefferson 65-46. Cougars improved to 15-4 on the season. Final game of the night, Macaulay Catholic takes down Golden City 65-47. The Warriors improved their record to 17-3. Super Bowl 59 kicks off in 5 days in New Orleans. Yesterday, Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt all but guaranteed that Andy Reid will return next season, and this morning, the 66-year-old head coach gets the chance to confirm that message.
Yes, I'll be back. I'm glad he's going to have me back. I mean, I enjoy teaching, so I don't get caught up too much on all the stats and all the records and all that stuff. But I enjoy being around the guys. I enjoy football, the game. You can't put in the hours that we do and not enjoy it.
Our Chiefs Super Bowl coverage continues all weekend. At the end of the week, Friday and Saturday, we have our Chiefs Countdown special that people are going to be able to watch. Me and you and Doug and Brock, we all picked the Chiefs in last year's Super Bowl. We all got that pick right, so we're going to see what we can do this year.
In fact, we're going to give our precise score predictions this year as we did last year. We were pretty close.
Very close.
We'll be right back. The group Carthage Parents as Teachers held a cute and crafty event at Hatcher's Coffee House today. The smallest kiddos up to pre-K could bring their parents in for a Valentine's Day craft session.
Make a little space for kids to, create with their parents, and they get to leave the mess with us and have a cup of coffee and hopefully meet other parents. I just feel like it's a great connection for kids to meet other kids and parents to connect with other parents and also with each other.
Just bonding all the way around. We're pretty sure these parents have a pretty good idea of who their Valentine will be this year. Some cute kids there. A lot of fun for everybody, I'm sure. Weather kind of dreary in the coming days.
Yeah, it is going to be dreary. We're going to have light showers, drizzle sticking around once again tomorrow, 48, 60 on Thursday, but that's in the morning. But just pockets of drizzle and light showers all the way into the weekend.
Final sports note.
Tomorrow is a big day for a lot of high school seniors in our area. It's the first national signing day of the calendar year, so we're going to have a whole bunch of athletes getting ready to play at the next level.
Busy day for the sports team, and we're all looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m., and let's make it a great tomorrow.